Okay. Let's lose that. Okay, I'm not particularly thinking anybody's going to be watching this right now, but I get a lot of questions about how I am streaming because I connected to the movement and flow arts world, and there's a lot of people asking, how they can, or what I'm doing and the things that I've learned. I just want to say that I am a complete novice at this, less than that. And everything that I have learned is through trial and error, but mostly through YouTube. And, I don't know anything about video games anymore, but the world is really run by video game streamers, and they are amazing and put out really good tutorials. And so there's good things to find out there. And so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I just thought I would show some of you what's going on. The first thing that I want to say is that I'll pull in here. This is going to be kind of janky, but let's see if this will work. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's going to. Okay, so I'm using, I don't want to get video feedback here, but I'm using OBS software, which is pretty much the standard for everybody. It's free and it's open source, and comes with loads of tutorials, and just about everything is set up for OBS. And so it's a really, and it's got, the tutorials are really great. It's also just kind of intuitive. There's a little bit of settings that you have to do. One of the big ones for me is that I have shitty internet here. I have like the worst internet in the world. And so I don't even upload at 1 megabyte or whatever it's called, MBS or whatever that is, MBP, I don't know. Anyway, I don't even upload to that. So I have to use this software, and it helps to use it because it does it breaks it down into digestible parts really for my feed, if that makes any sense. And so then it goes out, and then when you use this software, you get a link, and then you put that into your live stream so that you can use the software, and as opposed to just like streaming straight off your phone. I use a service called Restream. It's super popular, and that sends the feed out to Twitch, to the level of pay that I'm doing is like 2 places on Facebook, like your personal page, and then to a bunch of other things if you really want. A lot of them are gaming sites, so I pretty much just broadcast to those 4. I've noticed that there's a little bit of a delay, but that kind of makes sense, but it's not really that bad. Restream has a little chat widget. Let's see, I don't know, I don't think you can see it even if I tried to show it to you, but in that sort of aggregates all the comments as they're happening so that I can read them and respond. I'm teaching movement, so it's hard for me to react to them, but they all show up. And then there's cute little things you can do. Now, like with OBS, I'm keeping mine super simple. My whole stream setup is super simple because I have shitty internet. But if you had decent or even really good internet, then you can do overlays and all kinds of like little widgets and things, and they're really cool to try to do. But for me, I'm trying to keep it simple, and for the most part, like the people that are tuning into me, they just want to hear certain things. Now, the music is really important, and I'll just sort of describe like my scene to you guys. Hopefully you can see this. So I have, let's lose that. Yeah, so I have this mixer from back when I was doing my workshops and retreats, and it's a decent mixer, I guess. I like it. You wouldn't really need to use a mixer, but I'm such an analog dude that I really enjoy just like having something to touch that I'm familiar. And I've taught with a mixer, this one and others that I rented like hundreds and hundreds of times. So if I get a little nervous while I'm streaming, I kind of know what to do here. I do something a little bit weird, and I have my music, instead of it, you can just sort of set it up to go straight from your computer into OBS, into the software. But it's a long story, but I actually run it out of my computer, and then into just out of the headphone jack. Actually, I'm sorry, I run it out of my phone, which is another long story because my computer is so old that it will lock up and freeze. So I run the music out of my phone, down on SoundCloud. If you play the premium, you can download it a lot like Spotify. So that's what I do there. And then it comes out, and then this is kind of a goofy cable I had made a long time ago. I mean, you can buy them, but nobody really uses them. But they're XLRs to an 1/8 inch. I don't know why I did it, but I do think you get some cool, results from it. The main thing is just to make sure you don't have phantom power on if you power that baby up. And then to give my microphone, let's see here if you can see this. To give my microphone like a little bit of extra boom, I use what's called a microphone preamp there. And that allows you to put some, and again, I'm a total novice, I'm not an expert in anything, but it allows you to put some gain and then limit kind of how much. And so you can put some boom on the mic there. And then the mic itself that I'm using is, and it's a Samson mic, and everything that I read in the reviews that was shitty about it is true, but for the most part it's a good mic. I kind of like it. So just to finish this up, so I have my mic coming in, then the music coming in, and then from the record out, this is how I do it, right? From the record out, I then go into an H5. That I bought this H5 for my podcast because, I don't know, maybe I was reading old shit, but everybody said don't record to your laptop. There's too many glitches, and everybody recommend getting an H5. So this is where I record to, and I am using it essentially as an audio interface because it comes out of there and then it goes back into my computer. My other USB port, and apparently, I don't know, my other USB port I use for a camera. Now, right now, you're seeing all of this because I am holding the camera, but recently I got what is called a capture card. And let's see if I don't know if I have enough slack with this to get all the way over here, but the capture card is this thing right here, and they're usually really, really expensive, but that one is actually like $30 or something like that, and I got it like in 2 days on Amazon. There's this guy, a streamer named Epos Fox, and he actually said it was a decent card, so I took his word for it. It was only $30, and it allows me to use this camera here. I don't know if you can. Yeah, my house is a wreck, but that's the camera that I'm using. And again, I'm not expecting anybody to be watching this right now, but so many people are asking me. I just thought I would send. Back in my old life in the hoop world, you really had to have a camera to take video, and I bought a nice camera. It's old now, but it's still better than most of the webcams. This is my laptop's webcam, and you can kind of see the sort of walleye and stuff like that it does. I would switch to that camera, but I really needed this one. And so anyway, okay, thanks, Bonnie. So anyway, going back to, you guys are distracting me. So we have the H5. You set up these recording levels. I don't know, that's not gonna work. Anyway, these little knobs here will set the recording level, and then I am using an RCA to 1/4 inch jack, and there's loads of different things that you could use there. As far as my microphone, I just follow the settings for it. Now, there are loads and loads of filters and really like cool things that you can add. I broke my mic when I took it off. That tells you something. But anyway, there are loads of little filters and things that you can add and tweak, and I have not really played around with that. I tried to do it tonight, and I couldn't really use the difference. Part of the problem is my equipment is so bad. So for me, just to sort of explain everything before I sign off here, like for me, uh, the music is really important. And when I taught on the road, the music was the most important. And some hoop instructors could get by with like no music or just a little block rocker. But like for me, my whole thing was about people getting lost in the music, or at least hopefully getting lost in the music in some point. So I needed it to be big. And so when I transitioned into streaming, you know, the students were expecting that, right? Like that music would be important. And it took me forever to dial it in. In fact, 2 classes ago, the sound card that I bought, which was basically like an H5, but a lot cheaper, just fritzed in the middle of the class and started going crazy. So you can get everything that I've done here. If you have good internet, you can save a lot of money. You don't really need a mixer. OBS has a mixer in it that you can use. If your computer is fast, like I have a 2012 computer, you know, like I'm basically like telegraphing a live stream, essentially. But, you know, shucks, I forgot what I was going to say anyway. So anyway, I just wanted to make this video and give you guys a chance to see it, and then mostly for me, so I can just link to it and send it all to my friends. If you guys have any questions, you can fire away and send them to me, but I really just will point you in other tutorials. Oh, one key thing that I kind of forgot to talk about with if you do use OBS and you do want the camera. Now, I have horrible lighting, but I just wanted to show you something that, like, I have been adding lights in the house, you know, to make the live stream work better. And the dimmer the light, sometimes the more drop frames that you have, apparently. Like, the more the camera struggles to focus, the more it drops frames. So anyway, thank you guys. Whoever's been watching this, you're probably a friend of mine that I told you I would send a link to my explanation. So thanks, guys.